Government's business growth agenda.
Question number 2, Andrew Williams.
To the Minister of Trade. Does he stand by his statement on the Trans-Pacific Partnership that, quote, it's going to be big, it's going to be significant and it's going to help New Zealanders find well-paid jobs, unquote? If so, on what evidence does he base his claim?
Is some minister going to answer the question? The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Trade, yes, I stand by that statement. If concluded, the TPP will be New Zealand's largest free trade area. It includes 4 of our top 10 trading partners, is home to 650 million consumers and represents $21 trillion of the global economy. Collectively, the group takes nearly 40% of New Zealand exports and, of course, includes the US, with whom an FTA has long been a top foreign policy priority for successive New Zealand governments.
Andrew Williams.
Supplementary to the Minister of Trade. How can he reconcile the necessity for secrecy regarding the Trans-Pacific Partnership, yet at the same time make claims that the agreement will provide jobs for New Zealanders?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, it's hardly a secret that there's negotiations. I think there's 500 people from how many countries? 20-something countries, 11 countries turning up in Auckland. It seems to be pretty well known. The fact is, we think a free trade agreement would be a good idea. We're willing to conduct the reasonable process of negotiation in good faith with our negotiating partners to achieve that agreement. We understand opposition parties are opposed to the jobs that would flow from free trade agreement. That's their policy position, it's not ours.
The Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
So, Minister, will he have as a negotiation bottom line the protection of existing New Zealand intellectual property law, and will he ensure that New Zealand's position is not simply the adoption of the intellectual property laws of the United States of America?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, that issue, along with a number of others, I'm sure will be a matter of pretty intensive negotiation, because it's pretty clear that the parties are negotiating from different starting positions.
Andrew Williams.
Supplementary. Are there any specific aspects of the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement that could erode or limit New Zealand's sovereignty? If so, what are they?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, no, not in an unacceptable way. The fact is that when we are doing agreements with other countries, both we and they often have to give up some aspect of their policy that they did think was important, but they give it up in order to achieve the larger benefits of free trade. So this is a process that's not without compromise, but it certainly won't be a compromise on our sovereignty.
Andrew Williams.
Supplementary. How will the Trans-Pacific Partnership affect the Overseas Investment Act in regards to prohibiting performance requirements and industry incentives for the film industry?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I'm not sure if particularly that second statement is correct, but the government's not planning any changes to the Overseas Investment Act.
The Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
Will he have as a negotiation bottom line, and can he give us an assurance that there will be no erosion of Pharmac's position in New Zealand in respect of medical drug purchase and distribution?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the government's approach will be articulated in precise terms through the negotiation, but we share with the previous government a strong desire to maintain the effectiveness and the independence of Pharmac.
Andrew Williams.
Supplementary. Is the Minister saying that the film industry will be totally unaffected and that current industry subsidies will not be affected by the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I wouldn't want to prejudge the way the negotiations would go over the next 12 months or so, but the process does allow for the kind of arrangements that the New Zealand government applies to the New Zealand film industry.
Andrew Williams.
Supplementary. Will the Minister assure the House that this government will not sign the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement unless the US removes subsidies from their agricultural sector?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, it's certainly a long-term aim of the New Zealand Government to see those agricultural subsidies eliminated. The same discussion has been going on for 50 years with the European Union, and at different times we have made progress. So it is very important in this negotiation that we see progress, but again, in the spirit of good faith with our negotiation partners, I wouldn't want to preempt the result of it.
Question number 3, the Leader of the Opposition, David Shearer.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Prime Minister, does he stand by his statement, quote, "You can trust us if we say we're going to